mtn.co.ke, you click on the icon with the word Listen Live. Now, you can still find this radio station on its on the different radio listening apps. Those you can obtain from the App Store of your smartphone. You download, look for Radio 1 FM 90, and as long as you have an internet connection, you should be able to listen to us from anywhere across this globe. We do value your feedback, and we want you to share with us your thoughts. Send us WhatsApp message via the WhatsApp line 0703-090-090, and our guest this evening will be responding to you. Now, it's widely known that Uganda has one of the youngest population in the world. Not only that, that population is very creative, and you find them in different digital spaces. But there are also things that continue to hinder their progress in that particular area. There are issues to do with data, accessibility to digital tools, and among other things. Now, one telecom company, that's MTN Uganda, has resolved to step forward and support young people to fulfill their potential and achieve their dreams. And they are running a campaign which is known as Free Your Fire, which is supporting creators and helping to highlight, the talent in Uganda, which in the end will help us to address the challenge of unemployment among young people. But they're also running another campaign called Project Citizen. So today, I have an official from this telecom company here in studio to actually share with us in detail what these campaigns are about and how they are going to benefit young people, but also the citizen of Uganda who is on a digital space. Good evening, Mr. Ronald Muwaya.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for joining us. You are the regional marketing coordinator at MTN Uganda.
True.
All right, we want to begin with you on a little bit history of MTN Uganda. For over many years, MTN came here, began as a telecom for calling. So there are so many things that have been happening, which they call evolving. What role are you now playing in the Ugandan economy, generally, beyond what you were traditionally known for?
Okay, good evening, listeners on Radio 1. MTN has been evolving from being just a telecom provider to becoming a platform that supports how people live, work, and grow. Whether it's fast and reliable data, clear voice, or mobile money services, it's about giving people the tools they need to keep moving. And for especially the young youth, have big drive, big ambitions, and real potential. You see it everywhere in how they so create, learn, and push forward every day. MTN's role is not to lead the journey, but to enable it as Uganda's number one network.
When you talk about the network in terms of the operations of the company, MTN, what exactly does it mean?
Okay, today the network is more than signal or speed. It's about connection in real sense. Your friends, your customers, audience, and your other opportunities. So for young people, the network is where life is happening. It's where they express themselves, build communities, and grow their ideas. Yes.
All right. Well, when you talk about data, of course, it's an interesting area because almost everyone now that has a smartphone is using data. Can you tell us a little bit more why it has become such a very important deal, even in terms of business when it comes to the telecom company?
That's true. Because data powers almost everything they do, from learning something new to running a business online, staying connected with people. So for the young people, data is like fuel. They expect it to be fast, available when they need it, and offer real value. Without it, things slow down. With it, they can move freely and do more.
Now, let's look at data a little bit in that particular area.
Yes.
What is MTN doing? What are some of the options that you provide to the MTN customer to the extent that, like you said, young people need data that is fast? You can't be in the area of creating when you have data that is when you have, for instance, internet that is so slow and so forth. Let's get deeper a little bit. What are the options with MTN?
There are so many options data options that MTN has come up with. One of them, for example, is we have Gaga for 4 days that you can activate if you have a cell phone from Monday, and then it runs through, takes you up to Thursday. Then On Thursday night, you can buy Gaga Weekend that you can use and takes you up to Monday morning. But of course, MTN doesn't stop on that. We have now home broadband for people that work from home, people that have offices. You can have access to internet for a month, which you can pay monthly, and the payment is just 110,000. So you have free internet at home. It's actually not free internet, but you have internet throughout the month.
Yeah. And of course, there's been concern about the cost of data, the cost of the internet, but also even connectivity. Let's begin with connectivity. Deepening connectivity. Well, when you talk about young people or creators, one may think they're only here in Kampala, but there's a lot of potential probably up country and everywhere. In terms of connectivity?
In terms of connectivity, MTN, we are now everywhere, and all our masts, I can say, are on 4 and 5G. So we also are trying as much as possible to see that we buy phones that people can buy and pay slowly by, so what they call device financing. So these phones are mostly taken far deep in the villages where people maybe do not have access, or where transport is a bit high for them to travel and get the phones from our service center. So we have trucks that move as far as deep in the villages with these devices to enable people buy on device financing, and this helps them to pay in a period of like 8 months, and of which, when you buy that phone, it comes with free data for 8 months. So that means every month you are given 2 GB free from MTN until when you complete the payment for that device.
All right. When you talk about young people, sometimes you find them struggling on their own. Access to capital can also be a problem in our country. Maybe somebody wants to be in the business of creating, that cannot afford to buy that smartphone or the digital platforms that are required. Let's look at how MTN is supporting the journey of young people creating, which is a modern way of doing things, because the entire world is going digital.
That is a very good question. Okay, young people are leading their own journeys. They are the ones taking risks and building their future. MTN supports by making sure the basics, work, connectivity, communication, access to service are available. It's about removing the barriers and making everyday things easier so they can focus on their goals.
All right, let's see how you're removing the barriers.
These barriers are removed by making sure the connectivity, data connectivity, is very swift and very reliable in all corners of Uganda. Secondly, we have made sure that the voice network is very clear. So we do no longer have issues of someone is calling you and then you're not hearing them very well. That connectivity has been resolved very well.
All right. We've been looking at data, and there's a campaign that you're running currently, which is called Free Your Fire campaign, which targets young people. Let's get a little bit deeper into this campaign for people to understand what it is about.
Okay, that campaign has actually just started running, and it is mainly focusing on the young people, and we are coming up with so many options of data that the young people can purchase to be able to stay connected in this fast-paced world. That data is basically, it depends on how much you have on your phone or mobile money. You will be able to buy data that can help you do whatever you want to do on your phone.
And in this campaign, what exactly is happening? Are you, meeting young people? Are you providing for them free data? What exactly are you doing to be able to promote their creativity?
One of them, the campaign is running. First of all, it's running. One, we are working with Kira Motors, where we are providing free data in the bus. And secondly, we are enabling young people to have a feel of traveling in an electric bus from Kampala to different areas within Kampala and Wachiso. And when you get into the bus, you have free connectivity from MTN.
In other words, are you turning the bus into a workplace or something like that? Because I'm imagining that I'm a creator, and what was holding me back is access to data. Maybe there's something that I needed to punch really fast. How does that solve the problem?
So we want these young people to have a feel of how fast the network is right now, and be able to use the internet that is provided for free in the bus to access whatever information they would want from the net.
All right. And what has been the response? Probably it's 2 days. I've seen 2 days from the time this campaign was launched. I was reading about it before we came on air. And what has been the response of young people?
The response is very positive. Young people have actually shared with us that the connectivity is really good and very fast, and they hope that this connectivity should be everywhere, but still we usually educate them. We've been educating them that this connectivity is everywhere because the connectivity that they are using is 5G.
They are using 5G. That's the latest.
The latest.
What's the advantage with that?
5G is very fast and it's very reliable, and with it, when you try to open a page or you want to access anything, everything will open on that page, and very fast. Yes.
All right. There's sometimes when people complain about maybe the cost of data, cost of the internet and things like that. I'm sure you've heard. There are people who have complained about they buy some MBs, in a few minutes they are gone. I'm sure you've heard these questions, and they are common, especially with young people who are tech savvy, who want to be online most of the time. They complain about these kind of things. Is MTN aware of some of these challenges, and how do you sort them out?
MTN is very aware about those complaints that come through, or the queries that come through, but it's again it's all about educating and sensitizing the public about how to use their phones. One, when we had just rolled out internet in Uganda, we are running on 2 and 3G. Right now, technology has changed, and people are holding phones that are 5G enabled. So when you load a data bundle that is basically maybe a 2 GB or maybe in MBs, and you have a high-end phone, like maybe an iPhone 16 or 17, of course, when you try to access anything on the internet, everything will open, compared to the network we had before 2G and 3G, whereby you would open something and certain things are not opened in the pages. You see excess, but this time around everything opens, and of course with that speed and accessibility and flexibility of the network, of course sometimes the bundles run very fast. But again, also people should also learn how to close out apps, because when you don't close the apps, say you're on TikTok, and then when you're done with maybe checking on whatever you wanted to check, and you don't log out of any other app, or maybe Facebook or X, of course it will remain running in the background, thereby consuming your data unknowingly.
So the best advice would be to do what?
The best advice is to log out of the application so that it doesn't keep running in the background.
What if I go and put off mobile data?
When you put off mobile data, of course, nothing will be running in the background. But when you leave data on and then you leave the apps open, not logged out of the apps, then that data will be depleted.
All right, and now let's look at the creative industry. Of course, we've emphasized the need for fast internet and all those kind of things. In some countries they talk about digital hubs. You find telecom companies like MTN and the others organizing young people into special units to be able to support their creativity and things like that. Those are some of the tangible things that are being done in other countries. Where are we when you look at the telecom sector and the agenda of promoting creativity, which is very important in terms of unlocking the digital potential of the young people, but also helping them to create jobs?
Okay, it all starts with reliable connectivity, making sure young people can stay online wherever they are. Then there are flexible data offers that will give them value. So you can do more without worrying about running out data running out. There are also ongoing efforts around digital skills, inclusion and access to opportunities, helping young people not to just connect but move forward. In this, MTN has a bus that goes to schools, or most especially rural schools, where they they skill people about how to use their devices, how to use computers, how to use laptops, data literacy, and all that.
After warming them up, you leave them there without any tools. You come and tell them this is how you use a laptop, and then you go with your laptop.
Most of this is done under the MTN program called MTN Foundation. We have our MTN Foundation that handles the digital skilling of most especially students. So what we do, we donate computers, we donate internet, and then after taking them through in the bus, then after they can go on. But this internet also is not given that it runs on that very day and then it's depleted. We give them internet for 1 year, 2 years, so that they can learn more.
All right. So you support schools and institutions of learning. That's what you're saying through the MTN Foundation. Just a little bit. There could be a school owner out there who says, some good news from the MTN. Who chooses which schools you go to? Is it something that anyone can walk in MTN, maybe make an application, request? What happens? What are the processes?
The digital skilling. The digital skilling is done through an application. So many schools apply, and when they apply, of course, they go through those applications and they choose out some. Because this is done every year, and when they choose out some, they inform them and they give them a schedule when we shall be going there. And still, the program called Changemaker, that involves also still the same, where we support schools, most especially rural schools, with digital skilling, computers, and so many other things. So it is a process that they go through. You can either apply or online or bring in your application at our head office.
All right. We've talked a lot about data and connectivity, but we shouldn't also forget the importance of the voice, which are the calls. In the past, people have been complaining about issues like dropped calls, same thing, airtime depletion and things like that. Has there been any improvement? Have you taken any steps? Even the regulator, UCC, has also been emphasizing this issue of quality of the calls, the network, and so forth. At MTN, have you taken any steps to better the services you provide via your different platforms, including voice calls?
That is very true. First of all, voice is still very important. Sometimes you just need to talk, whether it is checking in with family, closing a deal, following up on something. People expect calls to be clear and reliable. It's still a key part of staying connected. When MTN had just come into Uganda, voice used to run on 2G. But with the advancements in the internet and connectivity, right now voice runs on 3G. So it's very rare for a call to drop when you're on 3G. That is at all you have a phone that supports 4G network. But still, even if you don't have a phone that supports 3G or 4G or 5G network, you can still make calls on 2G network, given the fact that maybe in the area you are in, there are so fewer people that are using 2G network for voice calls.
All right. Is there any area in this country where you have not upgraded, where one can go and they are not able to get connected to MTN? And can you tell us what is being done about such areas?
Okay, there are some areas where network is a bit not clear. Reason is because maybe if the area has a forest, maybe the area is in a valley. So sometimes what we do, what we actually do, we optimize some of the masts that we have, so that even people in the valley, those that are in forests or an area that is a black spot for network, are able to access network, both 3G and 3G, 4G, and 5G.
All right. Dear listener, this is Spectrum on Radio 1 FM 90. Today I'm hosting a gentleman known as Ronald Moya. He's a regional marketing coordinator at MTN Uganda. And we are looking at how this telecom company is supporting young people to fulfill their potential and achieve their dreams through a campaign known as Free Your Fire. They are supporting creators, but also highlighting the potential of young talent in our country, which in the end also helps to address several challenges, including unemployment. There's also another project, Mr. Moya, which is called Citizen, MTN project Citizen. In that particular regard, what are you looking at?
We are looking at inclusion of all Ugandans in that project. The project entails or helps all of us to have a better connected, or to be in a better connected world. So it's a project that is running, and we are making sure every Ugandan is well connected on the internet and voice in Uganda.
And how far have you gone with that particular campaign?
The project, the campaign started 2 days back and still ongoing, and this is going to move on in all the districts of Uganda. Yes.
All right. Please do share with us your thoughts via the WhatsApp line 0703-090-090. You could probably be having issues to do with MTN, your network provider, and you want them responded to. You can share with us your thoughts on that, WhatsApp line, and Ronald, who is with me here in studio, will be responding to those issues that you put across. Let's now look at what actually happens when one gets on this bus that you talked about, the fire taxi, which is moving around. By the way, you also need to share with us so that people can understand where they are going to be. Is it going to be across the country? Is it going to be in major towns? There could be people who are waiting to, I don't know if there are any goodies that are being won by members of the public who are welcoming this bus. I don't know exactly what happens when one gets on this bus.
So,
and when you say one getting on the bus, do you like transport people? For instance, if I'm traveling from the city center and I'm going to Tinda, is that a free ride? If you can explain to us.
It's a free ride from Kampala to different parts of Kampala and Wachiso. Today, the free ride for those that stay along Jinja Road, the bus was moving up to Mukono. So where you find it is where you board it from, and then it will move you up to the last destination, that is Mukono. And for those coming from Mukono back to Kampala, it will still move them up to. But while in the bus, you have free internet for you to surf and to do whatever you may need to do with your phone or laptop. Yes.
All right. We are going to go for a quick break. When we return, we'll continue reflecting on some of the things that MTN is doing to better their services to you, the customer. There are issues to do with connectivity, data. There are issues to do with voice call. There's so many other issues. The world is going through a digital revolution. We also want to understand if MTN is supportive of this initiative. The government of Uganda is currently putting in place what they call it, is it a broadband to expand connectivity across. But what are the private companies actually doing in support of that particular initiative? So keep your comments coming via the WhatsApp line 0703-090-090. When we return from the break, Ronald will be sharing more about those particular issues, but also responding to some of the questions that you would put across. So stay tuned, Radio 1 FM 90. Let's go for this quick break. When we return, we'll continue with this discussion. Well, thank you so much for staying with us on Spectrum Live on Radio 1 FM 90. Today, we are looking at a campaign by MTN Uganda to support innovation, creativity by young people through different campaign, which is dubbed Free Your Fire campaign. They're supporting creativity. So if you're a young person out there, and you have the skills to do some things on your digital space, you need to listen in carefully, but also follow this particular campaign. There's a bus that is moving around Kampala and the neighboring districts to spread this message. The unique thing about this electric bus is electric bus. When you get on board, there's free internet. You can use your laptop, your phone. So maybe you are traveling from Mukono and you work in Kampala, and you have some important things to do, and you need to work as you travel. It's an opportunity for you to wait for that. When you see that bus, you just jump on and get connected to be able to continue with your journey, but at the same time partaking of the free internet that is on that particular bus. MTN also says they're doing everything possible to better connectivity in this particular country. And I need us to begin from there. Internet connectivity is big thing nowadays in the world. You know, because the digital space has become very important. For instance, you don't need to travel from places like Gulu to Kampala to come and attend a meeting. You can attend it online, but only if you are able to access the internet. Now we have those rural areas, rural communities, far deep from some of the urban places where internet is considered as an important tool. In some places, somebody will say in some of those rural upcountry places, somebody will say you are wasteful. But let's hear from MTN Uganda in terms of promoting connectivity. What kind of infrastructure are you putting in place? What are you doing now?
We have MTN has what we call HBB, that is home broadband. It's internet that runs from towns far deep to the villages, to the homes of our customers. And MTN rolled out way back, 2-3 years back, and we have made sure that most of the 90% of the towns in Uganda have internet, HBB internet. So it is upon now the customer to reach us, to maybe come to our service center if they need that connectivity, and we shall run it from wherever the internet is to your home and it's cost free, by the way. It's cost free, and you have free internet for a month. So then maybe after a month you'll have to pay 110 for you to get connected back on for still 30 days. Yes.
What's the quality of this internet? There's one thing talking about extending the internet, but then it can't even do anything, even download an app or something like that.
It's so far the best internet right now because it's running on 5G, and when you have it, say, at home, you can run everything. You can have maybe, if you have a family of 10, 15, 20, you can all access using the same connection, and then you can connect on your TV. So it's the best internet, and it doesn't buffer. So for those that may want to have that internet home, we call it home broadband. Just no connection is free, and you have you have a month of free internet at home or in your office. There are some people that work from home.
And have you been getting feedback from your customers? There are no challenges, or you have a mechanism to address some of the challenges that keep coming up?
We actually do not have challenges as far as home broadband is concerned, because when our customer gets the connection, it is done. We usually don't have challenges. Maybe the challenges that customers may say that they have maybe how to buy another bundle, which is also very simple for them to buy off their mobile money using their phone and off their mobile money account.
Is there anything that you'd want the listener to know when it comes to these issues of connectivity, maybe something that we have not touched?
Yes, our listeners maybe should know that the gadgets that we have are quite different. You may have a phone, you may see it big, or maybe it has a big camera or what, but when it doesn't support some of the network infrastructure that we have. One, you may have a phone that maybe you bought somewhere, and then maybe the seller told you it connects up to 3G or 5G, when in actual sense it doesn't connect. So maybe for the listeners that are listening, it's always very important to buy a phone from genuine sellers. You can come to our MTN shop, and then we shall take you through, and we shall show you the different options of the phones that are available, and it will be up to you to choose which phone will help you better your performance, or maybe help you smoothen your working structural environment where you are. But for MTN, we usually, before you buy a phone, we usually take you through about the different options we have which internet, which technology the phone has, what will help you maybe wherever you are, because sometimes we ask you where do you stay, and then we make sure that you take the gadget that can best serve you in the location where you're taking it to.
In other words, you might have a gadget but unable to connect on the internet. Is that what you're saying?
You may have a gadget that, you see, when you go out in the market, there are gadgets that are locked. They may sell it to you when it is locked and it can't access internet. Maybe you can't even make phone calls, or you may be able to make phone calls, but maybe the internet, it can't connect to the internet. Sometimes some of our customers buy phones that can that are 2G phones or 3G phones, and yet in the area where they are, there is a connection that is 5G made from MTN. And remember, we usually advertise that there is 5G in this area and this area. So our customers, when they go to buy, for them they look at maybe some of the few things, not the basics of the phone. They may look at the camera, how big the phone is, but when in actual sense it can't support the network that they want the phone to support where they are, because it is of a lower version that they acquired.
So it's very important to get an upgraded phone. Upgraded phone. For you to be able to access
fast speeds of internet.
Now, let's look at what they call financial inclusion, which is also very important. We don't want to leave people behind.
True.
And what's the role MTN is playing in that particular area?
MTN has actually played a very big role about financial inclusion. It's whereby we have so many we have made sure that mobile money, one, is everywhere, even far deep in the villages where people can't access banks, but they can receive money on their phones and then withdraw the money at an agent outlet and then make use of the money. Secondly, we have our investment platforms on our MTN's SIM card, where people can invest their money and then earn an interest at the end of maybe 12 months. And also, people can also borrow. There are so many options: extra cash, more cash, where people can borrow and then pay later at a very low interest, whereby you borrow, but you are not maybe presenting anything to maybe like the banks, where you take a land title and then your ID. Here you borrow and then we trust you because we have your details and we know you will pay that small money that can help you resolve or solve a problem that you have.
All right. And in terms of mobile money, how are you doing? I've heard in some places that mobile money is more like a bank account these days. It's been growing, and some people, now prefer transacting on mobile money than even with banks.
It's true, because it's reliable and easy to access. You can keep money on your mobile money. You can, because you have your main account as mobile money, but you have a savings account on the same SIM card, where you can channel money to your savings account and withdraw it at any time at no cost. So withdrawing it means you are pulling it from where you saved it on your mobile money account back to your original mobile money account, and then move to an agent and then withdraw the money.
All right. We already have some comments that are coming in from the listeners, and I think we should take them now. And somebody writes in and said, David would like to partner with MTN in future to establish a research to policy hub in Uganda to enhance socio-economic transformation. Can you share how you can be reached, and maybe provide your telephone and your email contacts? This gentleman has left his number behind, and I'll be giving it to you. Probably you'll get in touch with him for further discussion. Then we have another comment. The biggest issue these days is delayed call go through. You can ring a number for close to 1 minute and nothing rings. No indication of a call going through. Can you comment on those two issues? One, partnership. Are you open to partnership as MTN? But also this issue of delayed call go through.
We are very open to partnership. That is why we work with so many agencies and companies to come to develop something that best suits our customers. And for that customer, I would request that customer to come to our MTN head office just at immediate after internal affairs. Bring in your proposal. Shall go through it and we shall call you, have a discussion with you, and we see how. For the calls for that don't go through, first of all, we are sorry about that, but sometimes we do upgrades on the different masts. So sometimes your phone could pick a network from a BTS, or rather, I think in our language they call it Mlongoti. I think that is being upgraded, and you try making a call and it doesn't go through. But that is usually for a short time, 1 or 2 or 3 days, and the network is back on. Sometimes also there are seasons.
Is it something that is beyond your control?
It's not beyond our control because it's an upgrade. We upgrade the network.
So when there is an upgrade,
when there is an upgrade, of course, such things may
services
happen.
are affected.
Sometimes services, but we make sure we communicate via. We usually send an SMS to our customers in that area that they are going to be an upgrade on this and this. Sometimes when customers don't receive those messages, it's either the network, which is bad, or it's rather sometimes the messaging box that is full. So some of the customers may not know that your messaging box is full. It's just like buying your car and you don't receive a message, or paying for national water and you don't receive a message. The first thing to do is delete some of the messages from your own inbox. It may be full.
Then somebody else says there are also issues with calling a number that is on, but it doesn't go through. The phone is there, and somebody is saying, "I'm calling you," and your phone is not ringing.
Still, that is the same thing related to network upgrade. Just like I've said already, that it's usually 1 or 2 days. Remember, when we erect a mast in any area, it's supposed to support a number of people. Sometimes when the number of people increases, then the mast will not be able to support. So that is when we come in and we are able to see that back end that we need to upgrade this or optimize a bit so that all people can have better network in that area.
We have a comment from Robert Juko, who says, Kenneth, greetings from Gulu. May you guys clarify if MTN Foundation has a digital skilling plan for out-of-school youth with limited formal schooling history?
Yes, that falls under MTN Foundation in a program called Changemaker, and we are about to advertise for this year for Changemaker. We look out.
What does it entail?
We look out for organizations, groups of people that have that they are doing that benefit communities where they are. Such things include digital skilling. They include other mechanisms for making sure people in that community learn something that can better them in their lives. In such programs, we give sewing machines for those communities that need the sewing machines and materials for sewing, computers, and so many other things. That program is about to come up. Please just keep your eye on our page, social media pages, and on radio and TV. So when it comes out, then we shall advertise, of course, on radio and TV, and then it will be open for the public to apply and present your proposal.
All right. We have a comment from Deo, who is listening in from Mbale. It says, 1, MTN is not for the rich, and for that fact, your rates are still high for Mwananchi. What are the steps that you are taking to end this? 2, inclusivity. You talked about inclusivity, citizen project. How are you integrating people with disabilities in your training and on issues of data in schools? Then 3, 5G has been linked to health complications like cancer. Are you aware? If so, what are the tips you can give to the listener about caution?
Okay, 5G is just maybe a phobia about people. You know, with technology changes, and what people are saying that 5G is associated with people maybe getting cancer. That is not true. Technology has changed, and developers have tried as much as possible to minimize all that so that people are not affected by networks wherever they are. So 5G is actually the best network. That is why we've rolled out in all districts to make sure that all our masts are on 5G. Then for the other question, come again.
And the other question was about inclusivity and how you're involving people with disability in issues of data. For instance, when you talked about schools, do you take into account the fact that there are people with disabilities? Do you give them special attention, inclusivity that you talked about. That's what he's referencing.
One of that is about for schools. We have basically created a bundle for the schools which is called the Pulse bundle, and then it's both voice and data. And then for the disability people, the inclusion is that we visit them under that program of Changemaker. We talk to them, we skill them, we give them what they need to make them able to live in this fast-paced world. So even at our place of work, we don't discriminate. If you are disabled and you have applied for a job, you will undergo an interview, and when you pass, we shall give you. And when you come to our head office, you'll see so many disabled people in there, and we are working with them.
All right.
Very well.
All right. The other issue was about the rates, which are still very high, and he thinks that you can do something about it. You're a telecom company for the rich. That's what he said.
Thank you for that question. The rates for voice, for both voice and data, I do not think myself that they are very high, because now when you look at the rates, then the rates are actually not high, but those rates, there is a tax element in the rates, which tax goes to government. That is why when you look at those rates, you may think they are high, but if we are to remove the rates from the charges for both voice and data, then the rates will be low. But of course, we have to abide by the law, and of course, we have a regulator that is UCC, and if we don't pay tax, we may be moved out of business.
All right. Good evening, Radio 1, and Gabriel Obo Okwata. He says, I had my MTN line, he puts it there, which I used between 2009 and 2023. By that time, I was supposed to retain it back, but I had no ID card. Now that I have my ID card, can I retain that MTN line? Can he go to your service center and retain that line? Then he has a second question. He says, why have MTN reduced contact status from 250 to 100 contact only?
Okay. Okay, let me begin with Samuel, whose line is not in use right now, because he's saying he had it in 209, and that line wasn't working from 209 to 203, no, up to now. No, he had it from between 209 and 2023. Now, Samuel, we have a regulator that is UCC that requested us to recycle SIM cards. Now, why do we recycle SIM cards? It's because the number ranges get finished, like 782 got finished, got done, 772, 774. So now, when a SIM card is not in use for 6 months, we shall put it in a state that is suspended. It is still on the network, but you will not be able to make calls. But when you want to use it, you come to our service center and we reactivate it. It's very easy. You just come with
so he can still come and see whether that line is still.
But if you've not used that line for more than a year, then it is recycled. It is
so most likely somebody has it already.
Most likely somebody has it. It's only that when you call the SIM card and no one is picking, or it is off, or the call is not going through, it may be that the line is not in use. So you can come to our service center and we check back, and if it is not in use, then you can get it.
All right, I'm going to read out these comments very quickly, if you can write some of them down. Somebody is asking, are your buses moving on all routes or only Ginger Road? And how long will this campaign be for? That's Emma, who is listening in from Nambole. And then we have Odit, who is listening in from Bukerere. He says, why does internet stop working when data is even on? Help us. Sometimes it shows you are offline when you still have data. And then somebody else writes in and says, MTN has the slowest 5G in the region. And that's a comment from somebody. And then another person writes and says, is downtown safer with Wakanet connectivity? It is very low, on and off. That's a comment from Nawire. Then we have another one. Even home broadband has been misbehaving. And then we have another comment here. Dear Radio 1, I'm following online with this evening program on Telco. I would like to know how can I apply to have my home in Bwera Kasese connected with fiber cable, Wi-Fi internet cable, because I have seen it run from Kikorongo Junction up to the border in Pondwe, that is in Luvira in Bwera. Then we have another comment here from Patrick Bonyo, listening in from Busega. He says the fiber WACnet is good, but my concern is 130k per month may appear low to some. Is there any future plan to lower that figure and maybe put at a rate of 70, 80 as a starting point while maintaining the 130k for those classes? The pole could be near you, but the affordability, even if you lower MBs to suit the said amount.
Okay.
Can you take those very quickly and then we take another
Sure.
part?
The first question was about the buses, the routes that they are taking. This campaign is running on, and today we are in Mukono, tomorrow we shall be in Nasa, now the other day we shall be in Busega. So these buses will be moving from town to Wachiso, from town to Mukono today, then from town to Busega. So the campaign is still on and it's still running. We want you to have a feel of moving in an electric bus, as well as having free internet, 5G internet in the bus. And of course, it's a free ride to wherever you are going. Then data stopping working. I'm not so sure why his data, but maybe it could be something with connectivity somewhere, because some of these cables are tampered with, some are broken, so we need to find out why data. I'll get in touch with that customer and find out the exact location where he is, so that we sort that out. Then 5G getting slow. I don't know if he uses 5G on the phone or HBB, but it sometimes still depends on your phone. You may buy a phone that when you check, it shows that it's a 5G network phone, but when in actual sense it's not a 5G network phone, because 5G is supposed to show on the phone that it's speaking. Sometimes you'll see 5G on your phone, but when it is not speaking. So it may be something to do with connectivity or the handset itself.
Can we have an opportunity? Somebody actually wants you to explain the difference between 2G, 3G, 4G, and 5G. He doesn't seem to understand what they are.
These are speeds. These are speeds in connectivity. 2G is very slow. It's very slow. There are speeds in connectivity. So from 2G we went to 3G, which was a little bit faster, then 4G, and then 5G is the latest technology in the network industry that is very fast, and it's what we are using right now. So if you want to have an experience of that, if you have a 5G phone, if you have a laptop that can keep 5G, kindly just get to town, just find where our buses are and board the bus and have the experience of 5G. It's not all phones that have 5G. I also have a phone that I thought was picking 5G when in actual sense it wasn't picking 5G.
All right. More comments. Good evening, Anderson. Thanks for the show. I want the guests to help me understand why their data is so expensive. Secondly, reaching their customer care is hell. They keep on referring to use MTN app. How will someone with Mapesa phone use MTN app? That's Abima Jimmy listening in from Mukono. Then last comment, kindly ask the gentleman that what can I do to have more coverage in the whole house? I have a double-storied building and the Wi-Fi works perfectly well upstairs, but it's very weak downstairs. Otherwise, we thank MTN for working it. Very quickly, if you can wrap
Sorry about the slow internet in your house, but again, kindly just come to our service center, and then we shall have an option for you to boost the network down. There is a gadget that we put down so that the whole premises can have clear network. And then the other question was about why data is expensive. Actually, 130,000 was chopped. It's now 110 for home broadband, so it's really not expensive. But again, there maybe I heard of that customer saying there's some that are selling at 70,000. But
he's asking whether you can reduce it to that level.
That will be under review, and I'll forward it to my bosses, and we'll see how that price can go as low as 70,000.
All right, your parting shots as we come to the end of this show. Ronald.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Radio 1 listeners. We encourage all of you to use the network. Actually, the best network in Uganda right now, it's MTN, whereby all our masts are on 5G. And maybe whenever you have any problem, please, if you're failing to reach our customer care helpline, kindly note down this number is 0772 123 100. That is our WhatsApp number, and they reply within the first 15 minutes.
With that, we come to the end of this discussion. Thank you very much, Ronald Mwai from MTN Uganda, for making it here to explain to people how you're offering your services to different Ugandans. Thank you very much, dear listener, for tuning and contributing to this discussion. Up next, we have the news in English with Miss Josephine Dagano. Thereafter, a Soul Train with BP.